So what do I actually look for when I am on a viewing for a property that I am either going to purchase for myself or I am going to source? Well, this is a property that I would potentially buy for me, but I didn't. I sourced it onto my mentor student. And today I'm going to give you a tour around it to show you what I actually look for. So right now, let's start with the outside. I always look at the location. What is around the property? Are there any schools? Are there any universities? Are there any hospitals? Because what your end strategy is going to be will depend on what's around in the area. Then I look at parking. Is there parking? Can we get cars outside it? Can we get cars around the back? Do we have a drive? Do we have garages? And then I start to look at the actual property itself. So on here, do we need new windows? Do we need a new front door? How much money do we need to spend on the garden? Is the roof okay? What about the guttering, the fascias? They're the things that I look for on the outside of the property. And once I've got all that written down, I know what the cost will be in order for me to fix it. Once I've gotten that written all down, then I know what the cost of repair will be, so I can make sure that the due diligence on the property stacks up. Once inside, it's all about floor space. Now, if I'm going to flip a property, the floor space is kind of irrelevant because it'll either be a 2, 3, 4 or 5 bedroom house already laid out. But if I'm going to turn the property into a HMO, self-contained units, bed sits or multiple flats, I need to make sure that I have enough floor space in the property to achieve what I want to achieve in order to make the profit that I want to make. Now in here, first room, I am looking at the state of the walls. Do I need to take the property back to brick or can I skim over the existing to save some money? Then I look at the electrics. I look at the consumer unit. I look around at the lights that are in here already. What's the age of the electrics? Do they need a full rewire? Or can I get away with getting a new consumer unit, getting a new certificate and making it work? That's the due diligence side of things. Also, when I'm in here, I look at the central heating. Now, this property, the only thing that I don't like about this is that the central heating pipes come out of the ground. I want them to come out of the wall so the radiators give the floating appearance. All in all, so far in here, decent property. There's lots of things I'm looking at. There are things that I'm going to change, but there are things as well that don't need changing if it's going to be sourced onto somebody else, like my mentor students. So the door frames are in good condition. You can actually sand this architrave back and the skirting boards and get a fantastic finish without having to replace them. Again, due diligence, saving money, meaning more profit. Now, we have established in this property, I can save some money on not having to go back to brick. I might be able to upgrade the electrics without doing a full rewire, and the central heating, I might be able to get away with not having a new system in place, but just making better of the system that's already here. But now we're on to items that will cost you money and you will need to replace, i.e. the kitchen. This kitchen, as I walk around, it needs fully upgrading. There is a cost to that. We look at the floor. The floor, you can clearly see, needs upgrading. There is going to be a cost to that. And then if you look up here, you can see it looks like we have water ingress. Now, I have to investigate that to see how severe the damage is, what the cost is going to be, and how I remedy it. Now, with experience, and I know this, I know what that's going to cost me. So again, it goes on my list of what I need to spend in this property. As I walk around, I also look at the windows. Now, these windows look like they're in good condition and they might be able to stay. If I wanted to replace all of the windows in this property, I would be looking at around £12,000 to £14,000, again from experience. But there's no condensation, there's no leaks, there's no mould around the windows. They look like they're in great condition, they're double glazed, So again, that can be a saving on this property. We walk around the property, I am in one of the bathrooms, and again, this is clear that I need to upgrade this. It's very, very dated. So I know there's going to be a cost to do this. Again, I know the cost that's associated to make sure that this is done to the level that I like. There are some pipes that are behind the camera. Duna will do his magic and show you. Now, I also know that I want to chase those into the wall in order to get a better finish. So there's another cost. And this is me just walking around a property I've never been to before and making all the assumptions on what it's going to cost me. These doors here, all of the internal doors in the property, I know need changing because they are dated again. But like I said, the skirting, the architrave, the door frames, don't really need to replace them if you don't want to. You can get away with sanding them, painting them. They're in great condition. It's just that they're not modern. So it swings and roundabouts when you're viewing a house. You need to know what you're going to use it for as the end user. If this is a flip, then yes, I would replace all them. But because this is going to be used as a HMO potentially, can make them look absolutely amazing and 10 out of 10 with just sanding them back and painting them. Again, you have to know what your end strategy is going to be. At this stage, your iPad, your notepad should be completely filling up with all the things that need doing and don't need doing. Below, in the description, I have a link to my viewing checklist. You can tick off all of the stuff that I talk about completely free down below. But we're in a bedroom now, and again, the walls in this property are amazing. Really, really good. Probably you could do a skim, but you could also paint them because, like I said, amazing. It's really great condition, this property. Keep checking all the windows, keep having a look at the doors. Do they need changing? Like I said, these doors do need changing in this property. Keep an eye on the radiators. Don't like the pipes in the floor. Skirting board you can get away with. Floorboards are fantastic. They don't feel uneven. There's no loose floorboards. Doesn't look like anything needs replacing in here. All the other bedrooms. Overall, this property is in very good condition. Now, walking around, I see all of this. Mould, damp. You can see it up here where the coving has come away. That's wood coving as well, that is there. That's come away, it looks like it's rotted. You can see all of the water on the floorboards here. The skirting is pulling away from the wall where we have all the damp setting in. Now, what causes this? You can clearly see it's from the loft, which means it's from the roof. Now, we have a valley that is up there, which I've seen because I've had the drone out looking at it, and I think the valley is clogged up and it's overflown. It's come through the felt in the loft and it's come down here over time. This is a costly fix. There is a cost to it. And how do you work it out? Well, you need to work out the severity. This is where you have a damp meter and you can work out the severity of how bad that is. There is going to be a cost to replace these floorboards here, and wood is one of the most expensive materials out there right now. Skirting definitely needs pulling off and replacing, and the damp there will need treating. Again, severity will determine what the solution to the problem is, but I've noted it down. It's written there. I know what it is, and I will price it accordingly. Gardens, one of the most costly parts of a project that people do not factor in when they are doing their due diligence. Now this garden, looking around, new fence panels are not needed because you can see all new fence panels here. Definitely need something done here. I don't think you'll get away with just jet washing. I think all of these slabs need replacing, and it goes down that way into the alleyway. The walls outside look like they're in good condition. Again, the windows out the back don't look as good as the windows out the front, but all I need is a jet wash to get cleaned up. All of the fascia and all of the guttering at the top looks like it's in really good condition. All of the downpipes looks like it's in really good condition. So all in all, I will factor in just to have the slabs done out here. So these have got to be taken up. We need some new soil laid, and then we need the slabs laid on top. To do all of this out here, I reckon about £3,000 to £4,000 because fences are there, don't need them, and there is not a lot that really needs doing. It goes down to the front. Might need a gate, so I might allow £300 to have a new gate fitted there. But yeah, great property, really impressed with this. So that is how I walk around a viewing and I make a decision on whether I want to buy a property. I break down all the costs, I look at everything in there that needs replacing or needs upgrading, I add it all up, then I look at the purchase price and I look at the end value and I make a decision based on the whole of what I need to purchase this property for. So if this is listed at 200,000 and I want to spend 50,000 on it and my end value is going to be about 270, well, £20,000 profit for that is not enough. So I know the offer needs to be accepted around 170 to 175 in order to make a nice juicy profit. If you guys want to learn how to do this, join the property circle, get taught by me, somebody who actually practices what they preach. I am a real property developer.